We have a very special person here, but I have to go and say to all of you, this is a day of inspiration and information. This is a special day because when we talk about Gullah Geechee people, we talk about African family. And actually, the surprise, this introduction is not what you expect, the traditional things that people do. That's not how we do it. It's never been our style. That I have to go back in time, actually, to Savannah State, because there's some folks in here. We got Dr. Jordan in here, because there was a time at Savannah State. No, I got to go bring somebody else up. Where's Tariq? Is Tariq here? When you see Tariq, you're looking at someone whose father made it possible for us to be here. A lot of people don't realize that. At Savannah State, Tariq's father was one of the people who brought African students together, students from the Caribbean and students from the U.S. together, where they began to have discussions. So Gullah Geechee people now sitting down talking with folks from the continent, and we talk about the foods that we yam, the foods that we eat. Then we have folks from the Caribbean. And again, we talk about peas and rice, or peas, and as some of the people saying, we're all here at Savannah State, traditional students and non-traditional students, sitting down and listening to each other and understanding the connection. And then for some of them, they began to say, that's why we eat rice in the cafeteria every day. That it was tied to people from the continent also sharing the history and the story. And that's why, one, the inspiration, his father was one of the inspirers for me. And that's, again, that's my brother, your father, Vincent K. Brown. When you see the culture happening here in Savannah, your father's tied to that. A lot of people don't realize the small world that we live in. And that's my brother. Now, we go to my sister, my friend, and who I can fight with and have some fun with at times, but also my confidant and my queen. But I got to go back in time. Just like I talked about Dr. Jordan, one of the things that a lot of us always realize is about being researchers. And what occurred for us in Savannah, I just want to say that some people don't realize Queen Quet is intimately tied to Savannah. Because back in the 90s, there was a living history group here called The Drum. The Drum was made of artists, or comprised of artists, musicians, singers, reenactors, historians, and researchers. And one of the things, that an element that I brought to The Drum was the Gullah Geechee culture. And some of them said to me, they said, Ivana Mosi in particular, who's tied to Geechee Kuma, he said, Jamal, you remind me of Marquetta. You know Marquetta from St. Helena? I said, from St. Helena? He said, you know her? I'm like, no, St. Helena. I said, you mean St. Helena? We call that Farbo. We don't call that no St. Helena. I mean St. Helena. So because they said she brought that Gullah Geechee element to history, because she was not an activist or an artist, she was an artivist. And that was in the 90s. And that was my first contact of hearing about this beautiful sister, my friend, my queen. Then later on, there was a gathering at the Civil Rights Museum in Savannah. And I saw African people come together to honor W.W. Law. I looked at this one woman who had locks that she had to carry on her left arm. I saw this brother with this mustache, and I saw these folks out of South Carolina there and out of Florida honoring W.W. Law. And I was like, okay, because I was one of the folks invited to be there. Then there was a meeting on I-95 and 204, in which now they were talking about the culture in this area in history and tourism. And that you had a group of African people there who in particular came from Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, and one of the folks told me, they said, Jamal, we want you to bring that Georgia flavor to this event. Then they said, you know Marquetta? I said, no, I don't know Marquetta. They said, but because Marquetta is going to bring the South Carolina flavor. We then met outside, and it was just like this. Blase, 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 you do this like this. We went back in there, we blew it, and I'm not bragging, but we blew it out the water. Folks came up to us afterwards and said, how long have you all been doing this together? We were like, it was just like 30 seconds. The kindred spirits. See, you kind of get yourself and sit down right now. And what occurred, we had that session, the folks saw us bring the culture, that is my sister, my queen doing her part, and me doing my part, but it was something even more important. Because afterwards, at that same meeting, we realized these folks were saying that they were about trying to increase tourism along Highway 17 through the Gullah Geechee Corridor. And folks said, okay, we finished this luncheon and this meeting here, we're going to have a meeting after the meeting. So we went upstairs, and then I looked and I sat down there and I saw this sister from Florida talking, That same sister, I said, oh, I remember that sister. She was at the for the thing for WW Law. Marvine Bench, Beach Lady. When you begin to talk about this culture, you're going to have to talk about and know about Marvine Bench, the beach lady on American Beach. Marvine had the launch that went down, and so she's talking about her experience as a Gullah Geechee in Florida. Then you had Queen Quet, Pat Gunn. This was like the first time Gullah Geechee people had come together and now begin to say, we are taking control of how our story is told. Other people are going to profit, and it's all of us sitting there. And then what happened? A couple of months later, Queen Quet sent an email out and said, hey, listen, I want the Spirit there and I want Obana there, because they're going to be an installment of me as chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation on Sullivan's Island. 40% of African Americans in this country have at least one ancestor that came through Sullivan's Island. And on that day in July, we've been gathering some of the same people. I tell you, I heard about the Gullah Omen in Georgetown, South Carolina, and Pawleys Island. And first, I was like, Gullah Omen? I was like, who is this fake person calling themselves the Gullah Omen? Then I saw Carly Town, Gullah Geechee People Foundation. I saw all this on the web. I was like, well, okay, they're trying to be kind of slick, because they call it's Charleston. They're trying to say Carly Town in a slick way. But then, and that same night when I was doing the research about these organizations that I was questioning their intent and their sincerity regarding our culture, I saw the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition. And then they had Akan. And then I was like, who are these folks? They coming from New York, bringing folks down here. I said, they got to come through us. And then I said, Marquetta, good one. I said, that's that same sister. I'm like, okay. Then I said something else. I was like, oh, shoot, they going to Brazil. I got to be down with them. They went to Brazil and they left me. They had all my information, but they left me in the country. They left me in the country. They went to Brazil. All of this because on the day when the Queen was installed, when we were there on Sullivan's Island, and they said, we need some change. I said, oh, we got some change. We gave the Queen the change. The Queen came in with the change. But then, the thing that began to hit me, just like you all sitting out there, that at that gathering, one of the people sitting down there, one of the elders was Vermel Bunny Rodriguez, the Gullah Omen out of Georgetown, South Carolina. One of the people that had organized and who actually had helped create and format the nation was Carly Town out of Charleston. She said, we got a body, but we don't have a head. And she said, we're going to get us a head, and that's why she was elected as the Queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation. And now I'm sitting on Sullivan's Island, I'm like, my God, our ancestors came through here. And we are now electing a queen for our nation. We're the first group of African people in this entire country to designate ourselves as a nation. And so here it is. We elect the queen, and some of the most historic people, when it comes down to this culture, are all on this island at one time. Never had the world ever seen anything like this. The story didn't end there for Queen Quet. Queen Quet was installed there, but then they came into Savannah, Georgia, to begin working on the Constitution for the Gullah Geechee Nation. Most people don't even realize that. That right here in Savannah, Mayor Otis Johnson, one of the first places that he came when he was running his campaign was to a gathering in Savannah, Georgia, where you had Gullah Geechee people, some of the same ones I said in South Carolina and in Georgia, now meeting on East 65th, bringing the word. This is our queen. This is my sister, Queen Quet. No one works harder for Gullah Geechee people than her. Anyone else that tells you that they're doing something for Gullah Geechee people, that is in all 4 states, across the ocean, in the Caribbean, in Mexico, in Texas, and Oklahoma, they're lying to you. Only 3 people are doing the work. And the one who I tell people up front, the one who works the hardest, and that's why I tell people, you will never say anything derogatory about the queen around me, because I know what she does for folks in South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Nacimiento de los Negros, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Our queen, Queen Quet, who's a computer scientist and a mathematician. I'm getting out of the way because, again, this is our queen, this is our opportunity. We'd love to have you here in the Port City always. Again, much love.